sound in my dreams.
There's no voice.
Honest,
at
there's
all.
no sound, no language.
Interesting.
It's not about China. I think it's about my childhood memory. Like sometimes I have dreams about living in the first apartment that my parents ever lived in. I'm from South China. I grew up in Guangxi province, and that's my school years. And then I lived in Guangzhou for over 10 years, so they're all in the south. So my husband is Australian, so when we decided to get married, well, one of us has to move.
So technologies move, people move, and ideas, of course, move as well. To start with, there is diaspora. Diaspora, of course, is a word that's used a lot to describe this dispersing of people all over the places from a particular origin. A digital diaspora only started to become sort of talked about and known since the arrival of, first of all, the internet, and that's where the cyber China first came in. This is a long word in academic terms. It's deterritorializing, right? It's a word that actually means that geography stopped to matter, and the tyranny of distance is gone, and you don't have to wait for a letter that is posted to you. So you instantly can connect with people who are not here.
我来自江苏省扬州市，然后这个城市是一个非常小的城市，但是它离南京很近。
The beginning of the millennium, you see a lot of international students from China, and that trend continues to today.
So WeChat is the most important social media app for me, because it's like all of my friends are in WeChat. We are all using WeChat, and even the other friends, they from Australia, they also have a WeChat. Yeah.
It was invented by a Chinese owned company called Tencent. Its functionality is just impressive. It basically is a huge range of social media platforms put into one. We call it the Swiss knife of social media platforms. So you can do personal communications,
Get taxi and delivery.
Pay for our life costs.
and now instantly you can find out what your grandma is cooking, and you can attend the family ritual that's happening in China in real time.
Even like their birthday or my birthday, or even the other very big days we need to celebrate or connect with each other, we just use WeChat.
A lot of my friends still live in China, my family, so I would use WeChat to contact them. You want to know like how the life have been.
So, but for the people who live in diaspora, WeChat has another important connection to China. If you migrate to another social media platform, you're effectively cutting your tie with the people who still use this platform.
很多的时候我们在我的朋友会在社交网站上发出一些贴文，发出一些照片，这些照片可以让我想起很多我自己的回忆，可能他们去了一些饭店，可能他们去了一些一起玩的地方，这些地方可能是在澳洲没有的。我每次看见的时候，我就会感觉到特别的有一点点孤单，因为我也很想去，但是我没有办法过去。但是同时我也会感觉是会被联系，就是可以被联系的，因为我看见那些图片的时候，我就能回想到我自己在这些地方的一些比较重要的，不管是开心的也好，不开心的也好，我能回想到那些记忆，所以这对于我来说也是一个很好的经历。
Media technology, they do make me happier in a way. Without this technology, we'd definitely lose a lot of connection to China.
It has become part of everyday life, and people cannot imagine actually not having WeChat.
I think right now I feel like I don't need to live in China because I see all my friends post every day, and I can talk to my friends and family on WeChat. That's part of the reason I watch those Hong Kong shows. It's not that they're good, they're not good. It's just that you feel like you're still living in that culture. Like when you see what they eat, like I said before, or the language they speak, the slang they speak, the way they interact with people. At the end of the day, English is my second language. Although I can speak, I understand, I can read, but in my free time, I just want to have a break from my brain.
Yeah, I guess my parallel lives, I've kind of meant that you have two worlds. That's why a lot of people complain about raising their children in Australian societies and not behaving, politely enough in the Chinese society and so on, because they're two parallel lives, two worlds. That's what I meant. So you have this kind of a life here, but at the same time, you are still not 100% disconnect from your work, from the work environment in China, in a way that you come from there.
Actually, I know Popo talks to her friends fairly often on WeChat, like just video call her friend every day. And as you know, they go for dim sum fairly often. Like every other day, somebody was say in the group chat, say, let's go for dim sum today. And then she is still part of those chats. And people would like joke about her, sorry, can't come today, we'll take photos, so you get jealous.
My approach to WeChat was primarily theoretical until that point where during the COVID, I think it's 2021, my parents still live in China. They were getting on, they're getting old. And my mother was quite sick, and her sickness was quite prolonged, and I went to see her a few times before COVID. And then her COVID happened, and I couldn't see her for a year and a half. And all of a sudden, one day I got a call from my family saying that mom had died. Now, of course, the most immediate sort of thing you want to do is to go back, to be there for the family and to be part of the funeral. But I couldn't because of the lockdown and everything. So they thought of actually using WeChat as a way to include me in the funeral process. So they actually live stream they put the camera on with the permission of the crematorium people. They put the camera on, so they allowed my brother to film the whole process, and I was able to see my mom in her coffin, and and also this her sort of ashes going to the sort of burial ground, and I saw the whole thing. Sitting in my living room in Maryville in Sydney, feeling extremely disconnected, but at the same time very connected. So in that way, WeChat allowed me to be here and there at the same time, transcend that kind of distance. And after that, I realized that there are a lot of voice messages that my mom and dad had left me on my WeChat. That was 2 years ago. But I still find it too raw to go back and listen to these messages, because I think I might just have to, I might break down. And I just feel I can't actually let open the emotional gate at the moment. I will do it at the time when I'm finally ready, right? But at the same time, I don't want to delete these messages because I want to keep them there so that I could actually go back to it. And it is in that sense I call a WeChat as an archive of emotions. It's not just an archive of information. It's a place where you can emotionally connect with people, including the people who have left you.